US Nostromo make and I'm titled 02 July 2023, kind of in United States as we posted vacation is nominated coffee break and all goes by you. It's a great country. You check American values. Many of them go around the clock. But if misguided, of course the destruction will have a base full of intensity. And it's not passion, but device of behavior that turns morality into something very disgraceful. We could check that failures on government, corporate area and state got integrated by the purpose, failure as purpose, but the purpose as fail is something oriented that has finalism. It's very intentional, difficult to prove in a center market global, which is the American financial market, stock market with secondary levels as option, derivations, and other kind of instruments and operations that you use, and without control is hard to understand things. But with the control misguided by purpose, doing the fake record, it's much better have no control at all. And it's not a liberal speech, but a speech about reality. The failure will be cut on individuals, debit account and microeconomic agents, with the perception at the supply and demand affecting the entire structure of the market, and of course that investment saving curve and liquidity money will put the balance of payments at the global economy in a situation very complicated, especially when we had the paycheck as 37 trillion against the complicators caught in an instrument of control, not totally destroyed but totally misused. And thank God the Christians Brazilians, which is the obsession to commit crimes at the control instruments, put the financial control on it. And we will check that in general the use as public budget go by the institutional occupation as chairs by the electoral procedure, and the election of course that will be in the middle to achieve the use of budget and by failure at purpose currently charged. We will observe that this area in the middle is promoting the evasive signatures at concrete things that had in the past or to prevent in the future, putting the image as domain to keep the domain uncovered as a secondary market. Same patterns. We could observe that the party we have at your social nightlife is the same party you have in organized crime or in an area that sell drugs or something like this. The difference is noticed by the purpose. Without the difference, which is this line here, people will be kind of the same thing and must be treated equally by the things identically noticed. We will check that the conversation now, considering the paycheck and Mintzberg structure, is for sure having that the reservoir dogs, which are the elements doing the plea bargain and making the pressure against the real criminals that has the domain and nowadays are putting the image and having them hidden. But are they hidden with something else? And now they are the reservoir dogs. This is the first thing we have on monitoring what everything you all are doing. And I'm your friend, your best friend. So, the thing we must have in mind, the second thing, at this warrant for July 4, is that this pattern, which is the 37 trillion, and we are considering the US dollars, of course that you as a criminal will be a daredevil and will try to obtain advantage in things in a way, and this leads to exchange at market at my liquidity money curve, considering the secondary market as values that we are doing on our economy. Function, exchange at market, variable as conjunctural variable, liquidity money, with extended market as liquidity money curve. Did we trace it? One more time, using our model by the estimative z, the variable x, the function y, which is the domain who sets the exchange market as police, in general is the government or the Fed. But nowadays, the government or the Fed are reservoir dogs, talking about the interests covered by the police made and economic politics made that are here. Right? Right. We are working with the reality all the time. The situation here is kind of the same thing. Now the x as variable hidden as hidden operators, and for sure the estimative, it is the really deep element at the financial architecture as conjuncture, kind of the king of all crimes, or the governor of all crimes, or the crime lords of all crimes. My projection will have the king or the owner of all crimes setting the domain of circumstance in many crimes, z, x, and having the perception as functional. Notice in each one of all crimes as variety integrated, generally affecting function by the parallel misuse. Did you present this before? Here is your intention, because you switched the order and the purpose of the law by criminal purpose. The crime isn't a higher law. You are not covered anymore because you can be hidden, since we put the domain using institution to be hidden as the current reservoir dogs that we are using. Our business, making informers straight to the point. Disruptive event, for sure. Anything else I can do or help? The last thing, we will check that this kind of thing will help me to understand the perception and I have this about the strong yen or yuan and the US dollar, for instance, the relation here, considering the activity you're gonna use as reference, for instance, the industry, is like this: the possibility globally talking. The possibility globally talking by the occurrence as strength will be something like this, and your behavior considering the secondary markets will be like this: your possibilities and the strength and the corrosive arguments that you have, because indeed you had intervals notation as a structural failure to allow this kind of thing as interchanged market inside the market, which is the market of exchanged activity like you do at airports. Can be by a judicial decision, a judicial order, the misuse of a warranty, but since we put the object reasons quite clear and that was against the crime, it's much more difficult. In the same way, the anti-crime budget. So we are having the governments and current users of institutions as the current image, by really they are kind of here and here to talk who is the really deeper level as estimative z far away that in general we will never note at the diagram with 4 dimensions. Anything else I can do? You have no skill. See? No jealous. Have a great week.